choked up, even though you already know how it finishes?
All right, Brian, I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah, sorry about that,
Because
Brian.
the story we were thinking was going to break just broke. So kill the music.
Yep.
I'm going to read Shams Charania's tweet. Breaking. The Buss family is entering an agreement to sell majority ownership of the Lakers to Mark Walter, the CEO and chairman of TWG Global. Sources tell ESPN Jeanie Buss will continue to serve in her role as governor after the sale.
Interesting.
So the Lakers, according to Shams Charania, are in the process of being sold to Mark Walter. For people who don't know, Mark Walter is the head of the Guggenheim Group that runs the Dodgers. And Mace, you have always said what you really want is Yankees West.
Yankees
you want a
West
team with endless deep pockets. We now have not as much money as Steve Ballmer, but pretty darn close.
Damn close.
And Jeannie's still going to run the team, and this is massive.
It is a huge story. The Buss family, obviously, just a dynastic family in terms of establishing the NBA in Los Angeles, all the way back to the Forum days and Dr. Jerry Buss. And to see, and I will say this, I mean, I think the Buss family has guided the Lakers to fantastic success. I am very optimistic. If you like what the Dodgers are doing in terms of spending, in terms of managing, in terms of running the operation, expect that now with Mark Walter, the CEO and chairman of Guggenheim Group, coming to ownership position with the Lakers, the majority ownership of the Los Angeles Lakers.
And
I never thought I'd see the day.
I've got a friend. I got a lot of friends that work for the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
And they say working for Mark Walter is like nothing they've ever experienced. That this guy says he never asks how much. He just says, you tell me what you guys want to do. And they say, we want to go get Shohei Ohtani. We want to go get Freddie Freeman.
Yep.
We want to trade for Mookie Betts. Go do it.
Yep.
Be aggressive. Spend money. This could launch the Lakers into the stratosphere.
And by the way, you know what else is interesting about this is that, remember, Mark Walter built an enormous, with the help of Stan Kasten and Andrew Friedman, enormous infrastructure, right? So many scouts, so much talent development, so much analytics, so many, as they call, quants that they've got working over there. I would imagine they're going to build out the Laker infrastructure a little bit in terms of that, because there's no salary cap on what you can spend on analytics and all that stuff. And at the same time, you've got somebody who probably will say, screw it, I don't care about the second apron.
So here's more from Ramona, who is going to join us next hour to talk about this. Mark Walter earned the first right of refusal if the Buss family ever decided to sell their 66% stake when Walter purchased Phil Anschutz's 26% back in 2021. In other words, this has been positioned to go this way. There are already a lot of ties between the Lakers and the Dodgers. Let me give you a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
Stan Kasten, who is the president of the Dodgers, used to be the president of the Atlanta Hawks.
Yep.
So this could mean that Stan takes on an advisory role or a more significant role with both. At the time he was running the Hawks, he was also running the Braves.
Yep.
So he's running things. Lon Rosen, who is basically, I refer to Lon as the vice president of getting things done.
Yes.
At the Dodgers, was trained at the right hand of Jeanie Buss and Linda Rambis. The three of them are best friends. Lon left the Lakers when he became Magic Johnson's manager.
Correct.
And then when Magic bought a portion of the Dodgers, Lon went to the Dodgers, and he's now one of their top administrators. That's basically one of the three big decision makers on that team. They may have roles moving forward with the Lakers. This is seismic.
And by the way, breaking news here, and this is huge breaking news, brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the 15-minute drive-through oil change. Visit SoCalOilChange.com to find a location near you and to download up to $15 in coupons.
And if you're just joining us, we'll say it again. The Lakers have been sold. The Buss family is selling the franchise to Mark Walter, the Dodger owner, who's the head of the Guggenheim Group. Jeanie Buss will remain as governor after the sale. And this gives the Lakers massive resources moving in the next year. Like, people are talking about second aprons, and you
Yeah,
can't
second
go over.
aprons.
This puts the Lakers on par now with the Warriors, who are owned by a hedge fund, with James Dolan and the Knicks,
Yep.
with Steve Ballmer and the Clippers. The Lakers no longer can be outspent.
Nope.
They're owned by a bank, basically.
Yeah.
They're owned by Guggenheim. And not only that, the guy who's now running the Lakers has had massive success running the Dodgers.
Yep.
The Dodgers have been to the playoffs 11 years in a row. They've been to the World Series 4 times. This is huge, almost indescribably big news if you're a Laker fan.
It's just a titanic shift in the town.
Right.
Because the Buss family.
The Buss family was one of the few families in the world that owned a major sports
family-owned business.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is just ridiculous.